Hi, my name's David, and I'm here to show you how to set up a manufacturing company in Deskera. Now let's click on Books, and then let's click on Set Up Your Company. Inside here, we can update the company name. We can select which country you're from. I can select the currency I want to use, so this will be my base currency. Our financial year start date, I can change this, and I can also change my book beginning date. And then I can determine, do I collect taxes? This populates based upon which country you choose, as each country has different tax requirements. Inside here asks, what does your business deal with? Does it deal with services, digital products, or inventory? So for manufacturing, we're going to tick here. And depending on your type of product, you may need pick, pack, ship services. And if you have multiple warehouses, you may need to activate multiple warehouses. Then we can click All Set. Inside here, you can create your first invoice, create your first expense, import your data, or connect it to a bank. We're going to import our data. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to click on Contacts, I'm going to click Import Data. Inside here, I'm going to click Download Sample File. I'm going to open this sample file. Now we're at the Import Contact template. Inside here is where you're going to input all your contacts. What is a contact? A contact can be a vendor or a customer, and it's determined based upon what transactions the contact is related to. For example, if a contact is related to a buy transaction, such as a bill, it'll be considered a vendor. If it's related to a sell transaction, such as an invoice, it'll be considered a customer. If it's related to a buy transaction and a sell transaction, it'll be considered a customer and a vendor. I also want to mention here that you don't have to use our template. You can use any existing Excel sheet or CSV file that you have, and then you can select the columns accordingly. So it may not auto-map because some of the fields may be different, like maybe not a contact name, maybe it'll be called organization. But inside our auto-mapping, you can actually manually change the fields so that it meets your requirements. And this applies to all import templates. So not only contacts, but our products, chart of accounts, all our import templates. So you can just use your file, upload it, and then manually map the fields together. So let's take a look at the fields. Inside here we have sequence code. So this is the unique identifier for the contact. So you can either put in a code manually here, or you can use our running number. We have the contact name, currency, email address, your receivable account, your payable account, your payment terms, your billing address, country, state, city, postal code, your shipping address, country, state, city, postal code. And over here are your tax compliance. So based upon which country you're in, these fields will change. So for example, in the US, we have tax number, is tax exempt, and tax exempt reason. So let's go ahead and save, and let's upload it. Now I'm just going to drag and drop the file in here. You can also click Browse, select the file and click Open, and the file will also appear here. I'm going to click Next, and you can see the fields have auto-mapped. So all the information's mapped accordingly. Then I can click Next. Inside here we have Import Properties. So under Import Options, you can add new records, update existing records, or add new and update existing records. In case of duplicate records, are we going to reject the duplicates or import the duplicate rows? And in case of invalid values, reject the entire row, reject the invalid value, but import the row, add the value in the dropdown. So I can choose all this. I can look here and see if the information looks correct. If anything needs to be changed, I can change it directly on the screen. And if I want to, I can apply for the entire column. And then I can submit. The file has been uploaded. Please check your import log for more details. So now if I click on Contacts, I see my contacts have been populated. Next, we're going to click on Import Your Data, and we're going to click on Products and Import Data, and we're going to first import tracked and non-tracked products. And we're going to click Next, and we're going to download the sample file, and we're going to open it. We are now at the product import template. Inside here you can see there's two types of products. There's tracked and there's non-tracked. A non-tracked product could be a service, such as an electrician, aircon repair, or even a certified public accountant. They can also be items that you just don't want to keep track of. That can always be like mugs or other items. You can also have it as items that are commonly used around the workplace. Maybe it's your table saw or drill. Or it could be, for example, paper, pencils, printing paper. If you want to keep, for example, drills and table saws as an asset, then you'll have to add it to the asset page and you won't be adding it here. So let's take a look at the fields. Inside here we have sequence code. That is your unique identifier of the product name, product type, product description. This is where you can input the barcode. Purchase account, purchase price, sales account, sales price. Is it taxable? Is this true or false? So for example, we want to update this to true. I can. Unit of measurement, opening quantity, opening valuation. So what is opening valuation? Opening valuation is the total amount of your opening quantity. So for example, for the plywood, we can click here and say there's 3 pieces of plywood, and the total valuation is, let's say, $36. So what does this mean? It means the total amount, the total value of the opening quantity is $36. We have cost of goods sold account, inventory account, stock adjustment, your warehouse, so this determines where it goes, your purchase return and sales return account. If everything looks good, you can save and then we can import. Now I'm going to just drag and drop the file into here. If I want to, I can click Browse, select the file, and then click Open, and it'll also appear here. Let's click Next. Inside here we can see the fields have auto-mapped. Everything looks good, so let's click Next. And just like in Contact, we have the import properties. So we have the import options in case of duplicate records, in case of invalid records. Now down here I can check and see if everything looks correct. If something looks wrong, I can just click on it and change it directly here. And if everything is good, we can click Submit. The file has been uploaded. Please check the import log for more details. I can click on Product. I can see my products have been updated. I can go back to my dashboard here and we can continue. So I can click here, Products, Import Data, and I can click on Bill of Materials this time, click Next, and we can download the sample file. And then we can open it. Now we're at the Bill of Materials import template. But what is a bill of material? A bill of material are a bunch of components that come together to form a product for you to sell. So for example, we have wooden planks, screws, wood glue, table legs, and we're going to use that in order to make a plywood table. Now let's take a look at the fields. Inside here we have sequence code. Sequence code is the unique identifier for the product. We have product name, product type, barcode, product description, sales price, sales account. We also have a field that says is taxable. This is based upon your tax registry. If you're registered in the US, you'll see this field. If you're registered in other countries, you'll see different fields based upon their statutory compliance. We have unit of measurement, opening quantity, opening valuation, our cost of goods sold account, inventory account, our stock adjustment account, manufacturing account, and our warehouse. So this is where this product will be stored by default. We also have the component product ID, component product quantity, any additional cost amount, sales return, and purchase return account. You'll notice that the components start on another line. They don't start on the same line as the bill of materials. After everything looks correct, you can save it, and then we can import it. So now I'm just going to drag the file and just drop it in here. I can also click Browse, select the file, and click Open, and it'll also show up here. I can click Next. Inside here, you can see all the fields have been mapped. I click Next, and then we have the import properties. So again, we have the import options in case of duplicate records and in case of invalid values. Now I can look here and see if everything looks correct. If you see something wrong, but there's no red field here, you just click the expand button here, and then you can see the components and see if this is all correct as well. If everything looks good, we can click Submit. Successfully imported 1. View import log for more of the details. Next, let's go to Products. And inside here, you can see our bill of materials has been created. Just want to quickly show you something, so I'm just going to edit this. Click on Inventory, and inside here we have Enable Advanced Tracking. This is where you're able to enable batch tracking and serial number. Next, let's click on Settings. Let's click on Organization Profile, and let's click the pencil icon. Inside here I can add an image, I can see the company name, the tax registry, and the date format, and I can also change the date format here. If I click on Finance, I can see my financial start date, my book beginning date, my reporting currency, Number of decimal places, 2, 3, or 4. Please take note, you can go up, but you cannot go back down. So for example, if I select 4, I will not be able to select 3 or 2 in the future. We can see our number formatting here and change it to however we like. And we can enable multi-currency here. For example, pound sterling, Canadian dollar, and save. Next, let's click on compliance. So based upon your tax registry, this screen will change. So for example, I selected US company. So for that reason, this shows. If I select a different type of country, different information will show up here. So for example, in the US, I can put in my tax ID and select the states where I collect taxes. Then I can select the address, and I can type in the address name. Select the state, and I can update. After updating, I can see all the information has been updated accordingly. Next, let's go to warehouses. Inside here, I can edit the primary warehouse, and I can change the name, for example, Austin Warehouse. Put in the address, city, state, or zip code if I want to, and put in the country and save. If I have more than one warehouse, I can click Add Warehouse. I can put in the warehouse name. I can update the address, the city, the state, or zip code if I want, and I can select the country and I can save it. Next, let's click on Settings, and let's click on Custom Fields, and let's click Create. Inside here is where you can create custom fields, and you can then apply them to your contact, your product, your account, your journal entry, expense, deposit, debit note, credit note, invoice, quotation, purchase order, and bill. And what type of fields can you create? You can create a text box, a multi-select drop-down menu, numbers. So you have choices in all this. So you can just decide. For example, maybe I want a multi-select drop-down menu for projects. For example, greenhouse lawn, table, park, and maybe one more. Let's call it poolside, for example. Then I click next, and I want this for my transactions, so maybe my inventory, my quotation, my purchase order, maybe my debit note, credit note, deposit, and expense, and then I can create. After that, I can see it over here, what it's available to, and my drop down. Next, we're going to click on Sell. So now I can see the field name, field type, maximum length, sequence number, the availability, where it's located, and the visibility. Is it active or inactive? And if I click the 3 dots, I can edit and delete. Let's click Create again, and we can add in a text box. So for example, maybe contact person, for example. I can put in 10, and then next, and then I can click here, for example, my contacts. Maybe I want a little bit longer than 10. Maybe I want 100. Next, and I want it for my contacts, and I can create it. So just to give you an example. And finally, we have numbers. So this is your decimal precision, how many decimals. You can do 0, for example, or 5 or 10. For example, maybe size of company. Just to give you an example or an idea, and I can put that under contacts and create as well. Next, let's click on Buy. And let's click Create New. And let's create a new bill. Inside here, we can select our contact. So we can also add a new contact here by clicking New Contact. But we've already uploaded ours, so we're just going to select them. We're going to select our project. So for example, maybe greenhouse lawn. And then we're going to add some items. So for example, let's add our wooden planks. Let's add our screws. Let's add our wood glue. And let's add in our table legs, for example. Then we can input the quantity here. So for example, let's add in 4. Let's add in 10 wood glue, 1, table legs maybe 4. Then we can put in the unit price here. Maybe the wooden planks cost about $5. Screws about 25 cents. Wood glue, $10. Table legs, maybe $5 a piece. Just to give you an example. So it's all populated here. I can attach a file, add a memo. If I click on the 3 dots, I can see my custom field if I created one for product, and I can delete the item. We can also click on custom field settings here, and I can see my custom field is visible. I can set recurring, select multi-currency options, manage, so I can manage my items, description, quantity, UM, price, and discount. So I can change the labels here to whatever I'd like. And I can click save and close. Inside here you can see the number, contact, bill date, due date, total amount, goods received, payment, status, linked order, and quick action. So we can see that the goods received is not received yet. We can click on 3 dots and we can receive the goods. Inside here we can also change the warehouse if we want to. And we can also update the receiving date. And let's click receive. Now the goods have been received. Let's click pay. We can choose our different payment types, and you can create new payment types like new banks under bank. Or if you want to create new cash accounts, you can create that under account as well. The payment type, so for example, maybe a bank transfer. Choose the date, put in the reference number, click next. Everything looks good, can click pay, and this is where I can print it out based upon the template I've configured, or based upon our system configured template. Next, let's go to Sell, Create New, and let's create a new invoice. Inside here, we can add a contact, and just like in Bill, you can click New Contact, and you can create a new contact here. So you can see it just pops up. You can input the name, accounting, and of course, the address information. But I'm going to use one of our existing contacts that we uploaded. I'm going to select Michael. I'm going to select our project, and we can add custom fields here. So if I click this, we can create a custom field directly from the screen. We don't have to go to settings. I'm going to add in a line item. So for example, we're going to insert the table. And you can also add product here. So if I click add product, you can see I'm taken to the product creation screen, and I can put in the name, account, and of course the inventory information directly here. I'm going to select the quantity, so maybe 2 pieces. Inside here, we're going to attach a file. We can put in a memo. Same thing like in Bill, custom field settings. This is where we can hide or show our custom fields. We can set as recurring. So I can set this recurring, monthly, weekly, yearly, custom. And I can select the number of days, months, weeks here. First document date, ending date, and auto send here. Let me just quickly select this, show you. Auto send, this is where you can see your email, sender name, send to, reply to, subject, hi, send a copy to myself, select the document templates. If I currently only have the system configure 1, but this is where you can select the document templates. Send a copy to myself. Add in placeholders, so for example, contact name. And I can save it. We can also set up payments, so I can set up payment with Veeam, Stripe, PayPal, or not applicable. I can click Manage, so this is where I can customize my titles. So titles are my, for example, items, description, quantity, UOM, pieces, discount. I can change the labels here. And then I can save and close. Then inside here you can see number, contact, invoice date, due date, total amount, fulfillment, payment status, link quote, and quick actions. We've now created an invoice with a bill of material. How do we assemble it? Well, first let's go to products. Inside here you can see the assemble button, so I can click this and I can put in the quantity that I want to assemble. So for example 1, and I can click build. And now you can see the stock has updated to 1 here. But if I don't want to go to product and assemble, I can just click on the 3 dots here, click fulfill, click direct fulfillment, And I can click here, and I can build the quantity here as well by putting 1. Then we click build. Then we can fulfill. After that, we can click get paid. We can select whether it's a deposit for bank, cash, or undeposited funds. We can select the payment type. Maybe let's do a check this time. We can choose the reference date. We can put in the check number. Click next. If everything looks good, we can receive it. Oh, and just to update you, this is where you can change the currency. So, for example, if I want a Canadian dollar or a Great Britain pound, I just click here, and you can see the amount changes. Also, if I don't want to pay the full amount, I can also change it to here, for example, to 200. Click next, and also receive the payment. And I can print it out, and I can close. And you can see now it's partial. So if I click get paid again, you can see the remaining $40 is here. Next, I'm going to quickly create an invoice in order to show you the pick, pack, ship process. So we're going to click create and new invoice. I'm going to quickly add a contact. Add a product. Put in the quantity and save and close. Next, I'm going to click on products. Assemble. I'm going to assemble 3 pieces. Next, I'm going to click on sell. Click on the 3 dots and click fulfill. And click pick, pack, ship. Inside here we can see the order, we can see what type of document it is, the quantity, if we have sufficient or not, contact, created, and ship by date. If I click the 3 dots, I can generate the pick list. Inside here I can select the warehouse, so like for example if I select Fresno warehouse, it shows insufficient quantity and the amount of quantity in there, so there's 0. If I click on Austin warehouse, I can see 3 quantity available, and I can click save. Next, let's go to picking list. Let's click pick. Let's input the pick quantity. And if I do this on my mobile app, I can actually scan the barcode if there's a barcode attached to this item. Let's click save. Let's click packing. Let's click on the 3 dots and pack it. So now I can determine the carton. So for example, maybe I want 2 in 1 carton. Add a new carton, and I can put the last quantity in the second carton, and I can save it. Next, I can click on the 3 dots and ready to ship. Then I can go to shipping list. I can click ship here, and I can determine the delivery. Is it courier, pickup, drop off? If I select courier, I can select the carrier. Is it FedEx, UPS, USPS, DHL? So let's click FedEx. Let's put in the tracking number. Box type, length, width, height, weight, and I can mark it as shipped here if I want to. And then I can click on the cartons again, and you can see carton 2 has been shipped. Now I go to carton 1, again courier, FedEx, tracking number, box type, length, width, height, weight, and again I can mark it shipped, and I can also say it's fragile or not. If I don't mark it shipped, I can save it. And you can see here partially shipped. If I click back here, click on this, mark shipped and saved, you can see it's been shipped. Next, let's click on apps. Inside here, you can see our different payment gateways, such as Veeam, PayPal, Stripe, and Wise. You can also see our fixed assets app is here, as well as stock transfer and stock adjustment. If you wish to track your shipments, we have a USPS and FedEx, so you can click on this and track your shipments. We also have a connection to Ecom. So inside Ecom, you can connect to your Amazon, Shopify, or WooCommerce account. So if I just click open, and then you can click connect. Same thing for Amazon, same thing for WooCommerce. We also connect to Zapier. Integromat, Integrity, and Pabbly. So you can look and see what types of applications they connect to and if they meet any of your requirements. Next, let's click on Deskera Books and click on Reports. Inside here, you can see your different reports, such as your financial reports, your profit and loss, balance sheet, your cash flow statement, your general ledger, your bank reconciliation, your statement of accounts, your tax reports. So based upon which tax registry you've signed up with, this reports will show differently. You can also see your age payable, your purchase by product, your payment list, your debit notes. You can see your inventory, so I can see stock availability by warehouse. This could be valuable because based upon different warehouses, you may find that certain stock is building up in one location and not building up in another. So you may want to transfer the stock to one warehouse to another and make sure that you don't buying additional stuff that you don't need. We also have the stock aging report, so you can see what's aging. So you may have some products in there or some components that have been there for a very long time, and that way you can analyze and determine what to do with them. Sales return report, purchase return report. We also have our age receivables, so you can see if any customers have any majorly long outstandings, so that way you can continue to collect and receive your money. You have your invoice list, sales by product, and your credit note. Now I just want to quickly show you custom field filter. Let's go to profit and loss. Inside here, if we click filter, we can add a custom field. I can select it, for example, project invoice. I can select the value and I can save. And you can see it's filtered out accordingly. And several of our reports have this feature. Now let's click on the Switch To button and let's go to Deskera Sales or Deskera CRM, based on how you want to refer to it. Now we're in the CRM Dashboard screen. So inside here you can see your contact reports, your upcoming activities, deal stage, deals won versus deals lost, campaigns, and tickets. So if I click on contacts, we can see the contacts that have synced from Books. If I create a contact in Books, it'll flow into CRM. If I create a contact in CRM, it'll flow into Books. This is where you can create your campaigns. Under marketing, this is where you can create your segments, your emails, and your forms. Currently, we have two types of forms, contacts and deals. Under services, this is where you can create your guide. So you can add your support domain here, and then you can start setting the page up, and you can add guides there. Under support, this is where you have your support tickets, and this is where you can create your different types of activities. Now, under settings, this is where you have your user settings, your team settings, and team settings will determine how people can see your contacts and your deals. So if we go back to contacts and we click on the three dots here, we can change visibility. Is it private? Is it for the team, or can everyone see it? So that for the team one, it's determined based upon team settings. Custom fields, so this is where you can create your custom fields. Same thing like in Books, this is where you can create your text box, single selection drop menu, numbers. We have country now, currency, and date. And this is available in contact and deal. This is where you can sync your email. So inside here, if you want to send by your email, your deals, you can put your sender name, email address, user ID, password, your server, your port, your server, your port, and then you're all connected. Inside here's our guide. So again, this is where you can put your support domain, and then after that, you can start setting up your page. This is where you link your support email to, so any email that's sent from the support email, the information will populate in your service tickets. And this is your audit trail, and under here is your preferences. So for example, campaign, if you want to remove Deskera logo, this is where you can turn it off. And the web to form tool, if you don't want the logo, this is where you can turn it off. Let's click on the Switch To and let's go to People. Now we're in Deskera People. So let's select the country. So for example, United States of America. And make sure you select the right country because the statutory compliance will change based upon the country you select here. We can input the address. Click Next. We can select the payment schedule. So for example, monthly. And you can click here and you can see it's monthly, weekly, twice per month, bi-weekly. So you can select which one you want. I can change the work week. And I can create multiple ones of these. So it's not just one and done. You can have more than one of these based upon your requirements. Then you can add an employee. So maybe Don Lee. And let's put in the email address. 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 And let's put in the ema Then we can put in the basic salary, and we can determine is it per year, per month, or per hour. I can add another employee, and I can click Finish. Thank you. Sit back and relax while we're setting up your organization. Next, let's click on Employees, and let's click on Employee List. And just for you to take note, this is where you can import employees. So you can go here, you can either download the sample file, or you can use a different file. And then you can just manually drop it in, or I can browse and select the file and click Open. And again, it doesn't have to be our sample file, but you can use it. And then you can just select it. So I mean, if your file does not contain the same information here, you just click here and you can choose which file you want, which column header you want to use. You can also click Add Employee and fill it in manually. You can also add contractors here. And if we want to, we can go next to Pay Schedule. So this is where you can add additional pay schedules. Under Payroll, this is your pay run. This is where you can add your pay runs. Under your components, this is where you can add your different components. Under Settings, we have our company settings here, so you can input the necessary information. And we have our offboarding checklist. We have our performances, so this is where you can say appraisals due, 3 months, and your questions. This is where you can put in your tax details. Please take note this changes based upon your country you selected. We can also create and design our payslip designer, so inside here, I can go and drag and drop the necessary information. And if I use a text, I can click here, and I can also select values from here as well. Next, let's go to eLeave. Now we're in eLeave. Let's click on Settings, and let's click on Leave Management. Inside here is where you're going to create your new leave type. So let's click on New Leave Type here. Let's put in the name. Annual leave. Number of days per year. Leave prorates. So this is the number of days, number of months are disabled, so you can determine how it prorates. Leave accrual, how it accruals, one time, monthly, or yearly. Leave accrual on, is it the first day of the year, last day of the year? Leave description, is any of the leave carried forward? So for example, maybe I want 28 days to be able to be carried forward. This is where you can select the gender, if the leave applies for gender. You can think of it like maternity or paternity leave. Your marital status, so based upon marital status, does the leave apply? Allow for unpaid leave. And also we have years of service-based entitlements. So for example, maybe 0 through 1, you get 7. Add range, maybe 1 through 5, you get 10. And maybe 5 through 50, you get a full 14. And then you can just save it. Carry forward. Okay, 28. Or 14, yes. Save. Next we can go to leave adjustments. So this is where you can make leave adjustments, yearly holiday. So this is where you can add a yearly holiday. This is where you can manage users. And under company settings, this is where you can set the work week. Okay, so next let's go to click on people again, and let's click on expenses. Now we're the expense claim dashboard. Inside here I can click on admin settings, and I can create a new group. I can click on the plus action to add a new member. So if I want to add a new member in here, I can add, and the employee's been added. I can drill inside, and I can determine if someone's a manager or a member. So for example, if I want to unassign David, and then I want to go click on Dan Lee and assign him as the manager, I can do that. I can go to categories, and I can create a new category, such as, for example, golf. I can assign it to the default and save. Then I can go back to the dashboard, and if I want to create a new claim, I just click on New Claim. And that was a quick look at how to set up a manufacturing company in Deskera.